On this video, I will start with slicers. As you can see, I am pulling from a small amount of data. In the pivot table, I have 4 salespeople and 3 categories. To the right of that, I have 2 slicers. These are filters that can drill down to specific information. For example, if I only wanted to know what Eli sold, I will select Eli and only his information appears on the pivot table. He sold something in all 3 categories. I can select Emma and she only sold something in tools. If I hold down the control key, I can select more than one person. So I will select Sean and we can see a comparison. If I select the button at the top, which is a filter symbol with an X, then I can remove all filters. Next, I will use the slicer for categories. I will select decor, and only those who sold something in that category will appear on the pivot table. So we can see that both Eli and Robin sold something in that category. And now again, I will remove all filters. To delete a slicer, move the cursor to the edge and click to activate the border. Move the cursor over the border until the arrows in 4 different directions appears. Then click the delete button on your keyboard. Now let's add a slicer. Select anywhere on the pivot table. Go to Analyze, and in the Filter section, choose Insert Slicer. Next, there will be an option of which column or columns to choose. I will choose 3, Category, Salesperson, and Number. If I wanted to bring the back one forward, simply select, go to Options, and choose Bring Forward. I will do it twice to bring it to the front. I can drag the slicer by going to the edge, looking for the arrows in 4 directions, holding down the left key, and then dragging it to wherever I want. I can resize the slicer the same way I resize a chart, by going to one of the rings along the edge, holding down the left key, and dragging. To change the color of a slicer, select the heading area, go to Options, and pick a new color. For more specific filtering needs, such as filtering by values or labels, you will need to use standard pivot table filtering. For example, if I only wanted values from the number column that begins with the letter A, I would have to first open the field list. Here I can see that the numbers category, which represents product numbers, is already in the pivot table, but they are hidden. To unhide them, go to Analyze, and then Show. You can see right here that the buttons cannot be viewed. So I have to click on it so that we can see the buttons and open things up. And now you can see the plus signs. And after clicking on Eli, I can see that there is a product number that begins with the letter T, and then one with A and one with A. If I only want to show values where the product number begins with A, I'll come over to where it says Number and click the down arrow. From here, I can click Label Filters and then begins with. I'll put in the letter A and click OK. And now the letter T is gone. We just see values that begin with the letter A. And if I click the plus sign next to Robin, I can see the A values associated with Robin. Charts are very easy to add. Simply select an area on the pivot table, go to Analyze, go to Tools, and choose Pivot Chart. Another choice in Tools is Recommended Pivot Tables. It doesn't hurt to select it every now and then just to give you some ideas of the different possibilities that are available in the categories that you have chosen. Tables work very well with pivot tables, so I want to take a few moments to go over this. If you want to convert a range to a table, select a cell within the range, go to the Insert tab, go to the Tables section and choose Tables. Then, in this case, my table has headers. If Excel did not choose correctly the area of the range, you can change the range here. Or you could try again and manually select the entire range instead of a single cell and then convert to a table. You can easily change the colors and styles. To convert it back to a range, select within the table, go to Table Tools, and choose Convert to Range. It will keep the colors from the table unless you choose to clear the colors first. So I will show you how to do that. And click Clear. One thing to be aware of is that tables do formulas a little differently. When converting back, the formulas may not follow a usual pattern. On this worksheet, the name of the table is Table 1. As you will see, I will click on the table, go to Table Tools, choose Design. Then on the far left is the Excel-generated name of Table 1. I may change the name if I want, but there can be no blank spaces in the name. So I will change it to Sales. It is very simple to make a pivot table out of a table. Select anywhere in the table, go to the Insert tab, then Pivot Table. In the top box, there is the choice to put in a table or a range. Excel assumes the table called Sales. Since that is correct, I don't have to change anything. And I can continue on the same as if I had just selected a range. Okay, with my new pivot table, I'll make a few changes. We'll start with changing the values to currency. Go to Value Field Settings. Right here where it says Number Format, you want to select that, and I will select Currency. And OK. And now everything is in currency. Next, I want to change this right here where it says Sum of Amount. I want to change the name of this to Sales. I will select, again, on Sum of Amount, Value Field Settings. And right up here is the Excel-generated name based on the category, Sum of Amount. So I'm going to change that. I'll delete that and put in Sales. And click OK. And now it's Sales. Now I want to clean this up a little bit, so I will go to Analyze and Show and get rid of the field headers. Makes it look a little bit better. Now let's just say I want Tools over here instead of Decor. I can select it and come right up to the edge of it and drag to the left. And now I have Tools over there. I'm going to move Gardening over too. Hold down the left key and drag. Now, since our information is based on a table, we can add a row. I'm going to get rid of this. First of all, I should point out that if you click the down arrow, you can move it, change the size, and close it. Okay, right here I will add, let's see, Art. And let's call this one Ruth. And and 555. The rest autofills. So now I'm going to refresh the pivot table. I'll select in the pivot table, come up to Analyze, Refresh. And you can see that Ruth was added, Art was added, it's right here, which is the nice thing about having your pivot table based on a table. Practice these skills and you should be on your way.